Hey everyone, welcome to this tutorial where we're going to create a water ripple effect using HTML5 canvas and JavaScript. By the end of this video, you'll have an interactive ripple effect that responds to mouse movements and clicks. Let's jump right in. Alright, let's start with a simple HTML template. We're going to use a canvas element, which is where our ripple effect will appear. Set the width and height to 500 pixels and give it a black background. Here's what it looks like. We'll also add a script tag to link our JavaScript later. That's it for the basic setup. Next, we'll set the basic variables. First, grab the canvas element and get its 2D context. Also get the size properties of the canvas. Then, create a variable to load the image you want to use as the background. Now, let's create an array to store our ripples and a constant to control the animation frame rate. Now, let's define some settings for the ripples. These settings will control things like how fast the ripples grow, how much they distort the image, and how long they last. Here are the main parameters we'll define. First, the growth speed. This is how quickly the ripple expands. Second, the amplitude. This is how much the ripple distorts the image. Then, the wavelength. This is the frequency of the wave effect. The ring width controls how thick the visible ripple ring appears. And finally, max age. This is how long the ripple lasts before disappearing. We will also specify the number of ripples to draw using the max ripples property. Now we'll create the ripple class. This class will represent each individual ripple and store its properties, such as position, age, and radius. We'll also define methods for growing the ripple and fading it as it ages. Here's the basic structure of the class. We will now add event listeners for mouse movements and clicks. When a mouse moves over the canvas, small ripples will be created, and when the user clicks, larger ripples will appear. The mouse move event listener detects when the mouse moves over the canvas, calculates the cursor's position relative to the canvas, and creates a small ripple effect. It does this by using getBoundingClientRect to get the canvas position and adjusting the mouse coordinates accordingly. A new ripple is then created with specific settings: faster growth, shorter lifespan, and smaller distortion. Ideal for subtle movement effects. If the total number of ripples exceeds the maximum allowed, the oldest ripple is removed to maintain performance. To handle the click event, we similarly attach an event listener to the canvas that listens for click events. When a click occurs, the code calculates the mouse's position relative to the canvas again, then creates a new ripple using a settings object tailored for clicks. This includes a slower growth speed, a longer lifespan, a higher amplitude for more dramatic distortion, and an initial radius for a larger starting ripple. The new ripple is added to the ripples array, and again if the number of active ripples exceeds the defined maximum. The oldest ripple is removed to maintain performance. Now, we'll write functions to draw the background and ripples. The drawBackground function simply draws the background image onto the canvas. The drawRipples function retrieves the current pixel data from the canvas and creates a new image data object for the modified pixels. It iterates over every pixel on the canvas, and for each pixel, calculates offsets based on its distance from each active ripple. For every ripple, the code determines if the pixel lies within the ripple's ring by checking if the distance from the ripple center is within a range defined by the ripple's radius and ring width. If the pixel falls within this range, a wave value is computed using the sine function, which creates the ripple effect and is scaled by the ripple's amplitude and fade factor. This wave value then shifts the pixel's x and y positions accordingly. Finally, if the new coordinates are valid, that is if they are within the canvas boundaries, the corresponding pixel color is copied over to the new image data. Once all pixels have been processed, the new image data is drawn back onto the canvas using the putImageData function. Finally, we need to set up an update function. This will continuously redraw the canvas. Apply the ripple effect and remove expired ripples. We can now add the background image's onload event handler, which waits for the image to be fully available, and then it calls the update function to kick off the continuous animation loop. As you can see, the ripple effect is working perfect. Feel free to change the settings of the ripples to see what effects you can create. And that's a wrap on our water ripple effect tutorial. I hope you enjoyed learning how to create this interactive canvas animation with JavaScript. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more coding tutorials, and leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future projects. Also, check out the description below for a link to the full source code. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!